Yoga for healing. Grande. Grand Thursday. We're going to take a few of the last vampires. And see what's going on with the children of the night. What's going on? Natural. Hunter. Transmission. Spreading of conditions. Having partnerships, people to follow along, that's in reverse. One more card. Nobility. And at the bottom of the deck, we have faith. Natural, authentic, real, organic. And then we have the natural and we have the hunter. And then we have the transmission in reverse and nobility. I'm picking up right off the bat that someone was not able to persuade you, manipulate you, to be an aggressor of you, to manipulate how you were thinking or the way you were going, because you are of royalty and natural nobility and you have faith. This is what these children of the night are finding out. Let's grab the book. Natural, number 40, that's a 4. Grounded, stable, resourceful. And you should be also real with yourself. Someone that's authentic accepts responsibility. They're not looking for someone else to say they did it or I did it because they were doing it, like little peon followers. When you're natural, you're real and organic, being your true self. To be your own true self is a lifelong, lifetime-long purpose. The purpose of your existence. When you take away the trappings of money, power, status in the world, you are left with the things of the spirit. And you are rich in the ways of the soul indeed. This creates a balanced, centered, strong core. As I was saying, standing in your purpose, being your true self takes courage, and it ain't for everyone, although everyone wants to seem to have it. And that's just on the physical realm. On the spiritual side, which they don't really like to talk about because they want you to only stick with the 3D thinking. Because your abundance is in your spirituality. How close is your connection with yourself, your true self, your true higher self, and the Most High Creator. So you cannot fake that. And that's what these children of the night are finding out. And I hope they gag on it. And I mean that. Too much reliance on feedback of society will affect your self-worth. It is centered on status, and therefore is consistently shifting and uncentered. This is why they become shape shifters. And they put on the mask that fits whoever the energy is in front of them. Being fake, not true to themselves, not stable, not grounded. and definitely not secure in confidence, self-confidence. And you gain more of that by showing it to the universe and to yourself. You can fake it and lie to yourself to the day you die, but that won't change anything about the effect. There has been an over-reliance on ways of identifying who you are. Whether you have categorized yourself by a job or your appearance. And if you're categorizing yourself by basic status of the world, you're still at ground level. I don't care how much money you have in the bank, you're poor. It doesn't get you very far. Don't they say you can't take it with you? So how is it going to assist you after this life on to the next? How? Because when you are invested in yourself and you're true to yourself, you take that with you in your DNA and in your memory, where it can be found again. But if you're investing in this weak stuff, you have nothing to rely on. Hunter, 32. This doesn't necessarily mean a bad thing to be a provider, but it depends on how you're getting what you're providing. Are you being aggressive? Are you tracking someone else that is true to themselves? It is time to establish how to obtain what it is you want. You must not ask another to go after it. And while the hunt will take place on the outside, it will also take place on the inside. As within, as without, as above, so below. They know the rules. They just think for some reason that they can manipulate them too. It's a curse to be distracted in pursuit of power for power's sake. There's always potential that a hunter can become ruthless. Being a hunter, you must be disciplined. So this natural and this hunter, when I'm thinking of them both, the natural has to be a hunter, an aggressor, a tracker also. But the intentions are not for greed. So how you are a hunter depends on you. And we have transmission in reverse, spreading of conditions, influence, and impact. This hunter is always trying to find ways of getting what they need instead of getting it from within. They always are looking from without. There's always a way to find what we need without a need to kill. Let that sink in. That can go from just speaking on being vegan all the way up to these handlers, these ones out on the streets wanting to fulfill the sacrifice of others that are natural, authentic, organic, true to themselves because they hold the greatest light. They were not able to impact you. And that's a number 7. They weren't lucky. They had no luck in their manipulation tactics, this hunter that wanted to relay transmissions to spread a condition of influence to impact you in your journey, your authenticity. Yeah, I got it out. For you are either influencing another very strongly. They may make a life-changing decision simply to share life with you or more closely, to follow you, to take on your thinking, using we are family, we are sisters, we are brothers, or not even knowing you. They could not find anyone to travel on the journey with them, sharing the experience that they were manipulating into the minds, conditioning them. They thought that they were surrounding themselves with weak minds that would follow them, but they ran across someone of nobility, honor, high standards, and very idealistic. So you have someone on your butt that's haunting you, trying to manipulate you, to get you to follow what they were saying, how they were thinking. But if you deny the nobility within you, it will become easy to go for the lowest option again and again. This will sully your soul into a little lullaby of their manipulation. But the transmission did not work. It didn't flow. Because you are of high honor and standards. You're authentic and you keep it real. And because you also have those hunter instincts, being a provider, you were able to track an aggressor. Someone that wanted to transmute a transmission that you most likely transmuted yourself because of your nobility. You are asked to tune into that part of yourself that some of you call the higher self. You are being asked to do the right thing and do the best thing, even if it is not the most advantaged thing or easiest thing to do. You are also being asked for time to be of service and assistance of others and to give. And that goes in alignment with your purpose. What are you here to assist in for others and to give? How are you here to be of service? Well, you've come across someone that is an aggressor hunter that was wanting to influence you and your nobility, your faith, your trust which they have found to be unwavering in your confidence, they couldn't sway. So, with this faith in yourself and being honest and authentic, they must not have known that you also were a hunter. You just don't hunt for prey. You don't prey off of others or try to influence them to think how you think, especially in a deceitful way. Your faith, your trust, unwavering, and your confidence. Your faith returns and you feel a true connection and comfort in your choices and plans. They are supported by the energy of the universe. And if you have lost faith in a person, project, or humanity itself, it is time to examine the source of the faith. Know that it can be revived. And this time you can choose you. That is a message, short and sweet. Be true to yourself, be authentic, but be aware of those aggressors that want to haunt you and manipulate and sway you to follow them. They may see your nobility, but they want to use that. Distract it, but they're not able to. What do we need to know about this transmission in reverse? To keep you from ascending. And I know right off the bat, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This is about those mofo, fraudulent, fake-ass spiritual leaders and readers that act like they care, but only feeding off of you to keep you from ascending. I know exactly what it is. I don't have to lay a bunch of cards on the table to prove it. It's seen. It's heard. Y'all got a lot of videos out there that they can go right back to and see for themselves and hear for themselves. And now that their ears and eyes are more open, they can hear and see it more clearly what the manipulation tactic was that didn't work on you. You have stayed like a dragonfly, lighthearted and adapting, finding out things and making changes. Things coming to light, and there will be more healing that they wanted to prevent. What about this hunter? What do we need to know? They're not healing. They're suffering from heartbreak, toxicity, and addictions. And they're stuck in their abusive relationships. They're stuck exactly where they stayed, where they took their heart, where they thought that they would be an aggressor, a hunter, and prey upon you and your nobility and keep you from ascending. But they didn't know about you. They thought they did. This natural, authentic energy is not dealing with a backstabber, nor are they one. They're not dealing with any heartbreak or pain or no blood on their hands. They're staying separated from their losses and the deception and lies. These attacks that they wanted to be shocking. But their efforts didn't rise to the occasion. All they did was talking, hoping that people would find it interesting, awaiting their messages, their text calls, emails, so that they could talk to them more, to manipulate them, to send them in a heart fog. But these nobility see the competition. This other woman, look over your shoulder. They got the message about a snake that was coming for their grounding, their stability, security, performance, growth. But they didn't know about their endurance. You saw the snake in the grass. What about this snake? So this person is trying to behave as the noble person. This may also be that wannabe, pick-me, destiny swapper wannabe that's not getting their way. They're wearing a mask. And they always are infiltrating the energy because they want to be you, a copycat, wanting to be of your nobility. But they're heartbroken, sad, feeling lost and grieving in despair because that cord is broken. They need to learn self-care, being happier. They see that in you, and they were hoping on your codependency of you chasing after them so that you would follow and be manipulated. You would receive the transmissions to fog your first eye. They thought that you would have a fear of abandonment and start chasing. What about this hunter that wants to be you? A narcissist, a love bomber that uses sweet words, that is very self-absorbed and makes the conversation of the manipulation one-sided. Not telling everything that needs to be said, but only when enough. But see, you saw this backstabber, this narcissist that was not ascending, this person that behaved of honor but is truly a snake that's in competition, wearing a mask, now feeling heartbroken, deeply sad and lost because they need to make healing choices. But instead, they were doing this of self-indulgence, trying to prove their self-worth and value. They need to take this time to heal, do the shadow work and self-appreciation, and not being a scallywag, jelly-back copycat, man or woman. They know that you have the faith, you have the confidence, and you are not wavering because you know your self-worth. You took that time to heal. And you appreciate you if nobody else does, because who cares if they do or if they don't. Dang, somebody is really concerned because that was a hell of a stutter. Somebody really does value their self-worth on others and how they are seen, what is said about them, that is all a fraud. It's going to be left a bittersweet memory. Because you see this snake, this narcissist, this copycat of nobility that is not organic, or original. They're nothing of the sort of natural, authentic, or of truth. They're narcissists. They only know how to manipulate, and that manipulation is not working. They're forced into making healthy choices. They see the blueprint, but instead of trying to follow their own blueprint, they want to take yours. There's an attraction, a chemistry, a passion, an illness within this hunter. To feel any attraction, spark, or passion, or think that there was a chemistry with a narcissist that's a backstabber that you don't deal with. What do we need to know? Natural. You're not dealing with a backstabber. It ain't your twin flame. This is a narcissist, and you're maintaining your boundaries that they want you to put down. The answer is no, and it's a simple, short answer. But they refuse to take heed and grow. They get no new beginnings. They're not blossoming. They need to find a new direction. They get no start over here, and this is shocking. No repeats, no replays, no other chances of manipulations, no trouble or turmoil can be expected, and this is unexpected for them. That it is known that they were not able to spread the condition, to be of influence or of impact of others. They were not able to expand and grow to a new phase. They got stopped dead in their tracks. This pretender of nobility, this fraud that's wearing a mask, this slithering snake is cornered now, and now is going to be forced to make healthy choices. They're angry at you because of this. They're angry at you and want to be you because you have been making the choices that they know that they should have been, but they refused and thought they could take it. They're not ascending, they're not growing. And their mask has been ripped off. They still putting it on every day with the cracks in it like nobody notices. Because of their pride and arrogance, their ego, they're stubborn, yet confused and uncertain. They're in pain and they're afraid. They know they should take caution to heal and nourish themselves for their own self-growth, self-focus, and self-soul finding. They must put in the work. They've been refusing to do the shadow work. They're in a fog of mixed signals, blocked emotions, and totally have fucked up because they're trapped in their non-committal ways, using their sexual energy in forbidden, lustful ways. That's how they would make their come up. They would progress, energy harvesting, manipulating, swaying others to follow them, to swap, to backstab. Now they are stuck in that because nobody's following their bull crap, but they are watching it go down, enjoying the gossip, So enjoy it while you can, baby, because everybody else is. This pain, this shocking news that they are not on to a new phase and they're not growing, and they cannot burn the evidence of what is already been told and shown. So they're trying to numb themselves doing drugs, meth, shrooms, weed, whatever, what they've been doing, drowning themselves in sorrows, or using the substances to allow them to be in more of an illusion, which has caused this heart fog, these blocked emotions, their secrets of getting in a hotel room for pleasures has them now all in their feelings because they cannot burn the evidence of their envy. What else do we need to know? What else, honey? Honey. They feel like they're fighting for what they love. They know that you are fighting for what you love. You're claiming what's yours. This is not love is a battlefield, but this has been spiritual war. Spiritual war of someone authentic and someone that's fake. Both having that hunter energy, but not being able to sway. Real recognize real. Do you see how closely they resemble? Somebody's trying to be you. They could not sway you, and now they're in turmoil. They're disgraced because they didn't heal. They only know about being a promiscuous hoe, being in that devil energy of I'll steal your man. But let me tell you something, baby. If any man or woman is swayed to another, you're not stealing shit. You're just taking out the garbage. So let's not twist that illusion any further. Being a temptress and sleeping around free for all doesn't mean that that cat is good. It just means it's free. Fighting for your love. Game over, bitches. You've been putting on a show. Yeah, we've been watching. Not just us. Watchers watching the watchers watching the watch. Everything is seen. Nothing will be hidden. No matter how much you beg and plead. Because you've already done the dirty deeds. Now it's time to pay up. Peace.